I'd like to now call Dr. Nandita Shah on stage.
Thank you very much. Should I take this off? I have it. Okay. Thank you very much, Arpan. And thank you all for being here. You really inspire me. And I just hope that in some way today I'll be able to inspire you back as much as you inspired me. What Varda said is very right, that when you have so many people here with the same goals, it's so inspiring. When I was a child, growing up in a concrete jungle that is Mumbai, you see it here, I was like 90% of the people in Mumbai. I didn't know animals, I hadn't connected with animals, I didn't love animals. On my first birthday, I was given rabbits as a gift. Somebody just brought rabbits as a birthday present, and they died after some time, and my mother was so devastated that she never wanted to have anything to do with animals again. And on my 8th birthday party, I was given a bowl of fish, and then the same thing would happen, but I was taken to zoos and circuses, and we never made the connection. And I don't know how many of you could relate to this, that you grew up in a family that didn't have connections with animals at all, and if you had connections to animals, if your parents loved animals, you're really lucky. I grew up in a vegetarian family, and when I would see someone eat meat, I would think about the animal that died to become that food. Like all children, I was totally connected to animals. I forgot to tell you, this is the title. Children are totally connected. Children have animals in their cribs, in their books, in their dreams. And when we go near animals, mothers say chi. And as a society, we are conditioned to think of animals as commodities. In the 1980s, I first came to know that, in order that we could consume milk, cows are artificially inseminated, and their male babies are taken away from them so that we can enjoy milk, cheese, paneer, cream, curds, buttermilk, etc. Cheese is made from the stomach of a baby calf, at least at that time it was. And this made me sick to my stomach, and I decided that I don't want to participate in this cruelty. But I loved all those things just like maybe many of you do. And the more I thought about it, the less I ate, till one day I was sitting with Ranjit Konkar, who was that time the editor of BWC, and just that conversation inspired me to become 100% vegan. I've never looked back. This changed my life completely, and I realized that as long as we're exploiting animals, our minds justify it, and we keep doing it, and it's cultural, it's ingrained in our society, everybody's doing it, so why be different? But once we change, we want everyone to change, and we try to spread this with a passion. Is anyone over here, how many of you are here are vegan? Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. And when you turn vegan, don't you want to spread it with a passion? Okay, but can you see that it's not that easy, because most of society is doing something totally different. So I started taking photographs like this, photographs of cows that are tied up in garbage dumps so that they could be milked. And they're sentient beings. These are my own photographs, and how they were artificially inseminated and their babies are taken away from them, and how much grief they went through, and also the grief of the calves who have been separated from their mothers and tied up, and ultimately they die of starvation and they're taken away to make calf leather, and some of them are even skinned alive because calf leather is better when it's warm. And these mothers are in grief their entire lives, and finally they go to slaughter and they're only 6 years old when they go to slaughter, or 7. But I soon realized that people don't want to see all this because it makes them go into denial or justification or something, because they can't bear to see it. It's just so hard. So I started showing them videos like this. And can we have the sound? I wanted people to know that cows, dogs, pigs, children are just the same. Thank you. I feel the same way. And so I did an internship in Farm Sanctuary. And Farm Sanctuary was an organization whose sole motive was to connect people to farm animals so that they would stop eating them. They had acres and acres of land and thousands of farm animals that had been rescued, and tours going through this just to connect people to animals. And there I learned how intense the suffering is of farmed animals, because we had sessions and they taught even more. And I want to show you a short video clip from Farm Sanctuary.
The unbridled quest for economic efficiency has led here to filthy, overcrowded, industrialized farms that threaten our health, pollute our environment, and subject billions of animals to intolerable cruelty. Each is a sentient being endowed with awareness and feeling. To agribusiness, they are mere commodities, raw materials on an assembly line. Their suffering is immense, unrelenting, and largely hidden.
I realized that people had a lot of questions because I wanted to share this veganism with everyone, and they had questions like proteins. Where will I get the proteins? And the people who were asking this question didn't even know or didn't even think about, do I know anybody who has protein deficiency? Where do the cows get the protein, or the elephants or the horses? It's just conditioning that we think that we need protein and protein must come from animals. And they'd ask questions like, don't we need milk for calcium? Don't we need calcium for strong bones and teeth? And this comes only from milk. So I started teaching them how they could get more calcium from green leafy vegetables and nuts and seeds. And very few people know that cow's milk, number 30, has 1/10 the calcium of sesame seeds, number 24. So, because I'm a doctor, I realized that, You know, we don't need to eat animal products to be healthy. In fact, we can be healthier without animal products. I started showing them things like this. And I realized that there are lots of myths about health and nutrition. For example, it's rare to see animals in nature that are obese. But so many humans are obese. What are we eating wrong? And if you look at the teeth of a carnivore and the teeth of herbivores and teeth of omnivores and then look at our own teeth, it makes it very clear that we're not omnivores. But we've been conditioned to think that we're omnivores. And this conditioning is being done by an industry that wants to sell their products. So I start, and milk too. Milk is a food that every mammal makes for its young. And just because we've been conditioned to have cow's milk, we're happy drinking cow's milk, and we don't even think of having elephant's milk or lion's milk, even if the animals are around, because it's conditioning. But we are not calves, and so we don't need cow's milk. In fact, we don't even really need soy milk. We don't need any milk once we stop drinking our mother's milk. So I started an organization, SHARAN. SHARAN stands for Sanctuary for Health and Reconnection to Animals and Nature. And it's basically to get people to start thinking and make the connection that I didn't have when I was a child, but it's also to help people, most 90% of the people who don't care about animals, to reconnect with animals by helping them reverse their diseases. Now let me explain to you this very quickly. You know, if you had a lion, you would give it meat, and if you had a cow, you would give it grass, and you would never reverse the two. But as humans, we put anything in our mouth, because we think we're omnivores, and then we eat things that are not even food, you know, packaged things and refined things and things which no animal would put in its mouth if it had the choice. And this makes us sick. So now we have programs for reversing diabetes and hypertension, and we help people go on a whole plant-based diet to get rid of diseases. In fact, I do a 21-day residential program where we do all the lab reports before and after and reduce the medication as we go along. And people who have had medications for 30 years, sometimes 16 medications for 30 years go out on only 4. Some people are off all their medications in just 21 days because our body knows how to heal. So I help them make the connection, and they, like me, once they become vegan, they're so passionate about it that they want to share it with everyone as well. So all the people in our organization are very passionate about this because they've experienced the benefits themselves. Most disease is a direct result of putting the wrong fuel in your body. Just like if you have a car that runs on petrol, you will never put diesel in it. The same way, we really need to look at food and say, is this worthy of my body? And you know, I know that there's a lot of controversy between animal advocates and vegans, because animal advocates feel that vegans are just doing Facebook mutter and they don't, you know, rescue animals on the road, and I do agree with that. At the same time, vegans feel that meat-eating advocates are responsible for the deaths of 70 animals a year, 70 land animals a year. So instead of rescuing, let's just take them off our plates and we've saved that many lives. So if we can, you know, bring all this together, because thousands of people can benefit, and we can actually reach an audience that doesn't even care about animals, that only cares about their health, by letting them know that there are other reasons to be vegan except for just animals. So what can you do? You can understand that eating vegan helps animals, of course. We all want to help animals. Environment. You know, today animal agriculture produces 51% of greenhouse gases. That's more than all the trains, planes and cars combined. You can't be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian environmentalist. And human health, I already spoke to you about that. And ending starvation, we're growing and feeding so much food to feed animals. And then it helps in conservation and biodiversity because we're raising so many billion animals. Have you got any idea how many billions of animals are slaughtered every year for food? 70 billion land animals, and the sea animals are even more. So it even helps us with our ethics. I want to show you a video about why vegan, in short.
Every single day to save over 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forested land, the equivalent of 20 pounds of CO2, and one animal's life, every single day.
Veganism is the most powerful tool that we have for saving our planet, for ending world hunger, for improving our health when we eat health consciously, and for regaining our compassion, for becoming the people that we believe ourselves to be, good people.
We all say we love animals and we all are against animal cruelty, but we pay people to mutilate, torture, and slaughter animals.
They can sense the fear, they can smell the blood, and they fight. They fight to the end. In my years of being vegan and speaking with many, many non-vegans, I have yet to hear one reason that even comes close to justifying putting a sentient being through what we just watched. Not one.
And it's not for any necessity. It's not because we need to for our health. It's just because we like the way they taste.
And these creatures have never harmed you, violated you, or taken advantage of you in any way, shape, or form. The least you can do is return the favor.
I'm a vegan, which means I don't participate in any animal exploitation or cruelty. I don't consume any animal products. And I wanted to show people through my journey and my writing on the blog just how easy that is to do, how healthy it is.
These are the top 15 causes of death, the top 15 reasons Americans die. And a plant-based diet can help prevent nearly all of them, can help treat more than half of them, and in some cases even reverse the progression of disease, including our top 3 killers.
And our Cornell and Harvard say that the optimum amount of meat in a healthy human diet is precisely 0.
They're killing you, they're killing the animals, and they're killing this planet.
We don't need to eat animals. We benefit in every conceivable way from not eating them.
This is a chance for a personal revolution, to leave your mark on this planet by causing the least amount of harm possible.
And as I travel around the world, I see poor countries who sell their grain to the West while their own children starve in their arms, and the West feeds it to livestock.
And good people don't take food from the mouths of starving children. Good people don't destroy the planet, leaving our children futureless. Good people don't kill newborn babies. Good people don't rape, torture, or murder. Yet good people everywhere are doing all of these things with every single bite. But we have the power to stop all of this, and that is the beauty of veganism. It happens on an individual basis.
And here's something you can stand up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day and say, I'm opposed to discrimination. I'm opposed to injustice. And that's why I'm eating vegan meals. This is something you can actually do.
You are the change. You decide what goes in your body. You decide whether you want to continue to have others kill for you. You decide whether you want to continue consuming death, terror, and heartbreak. You decide.
So whether you're a non-vegetarian and you're responsible for 70 lives a year, or you're a vegetarian and you may be responsible for only 10 calves and maybe 2 cows a year, we're still responsible for lives if we continue to consume animal products. If you think it's difficult to be vegan, imagine how difficult it is for the animals if you're not vegan. Live your values, change the world, and I just want to share with you our website as well as my email address. I'd be happy to hear from you. Happy to help you in any way I could, or your organization, to move to a more vegan diet. Thank you so much.